this program, I would request you to please present a memento to Shri Kohli. Thank you. Action replay. Friends, most of you have come from corporate world, as I am told. And something that concerns us alike, whether anybody from corporate world or from different walks of life, even a student, is the state of economy today. As our topic is, and we all know that it's in a complete mess. I will just try to bring forth a few points before our esteemed guest would speak on the topic. If you see the situation, what has happened in last 10 years. About 10 years back, we used to hear about India's story. The whole world was talking about it. Everybody was full of enthusiasm and there was optimism everywhere. Today, the gloom has taken over. Today, what we are talking about, the story has abruptly ended somewhere, or somewhat probably it was left in middle, or waiting for somebody to come and resume it again. But there has been a sea change. Actually, our economy has not gone back just about 10 years. It has gone back to the time of 80s. You know, since 2005, if you see, our non-oil deficit has been increasing, which is a phenomena which was best understood it was in 70s and 80s. We have not seen this for a long time. The current account deficit, as most of the people who follow the economy know, is hovering nearly around 5% of the GDP. In 1991, when we all talk about the situation where the country had to pledge its gold, even at that time, the percentage of GDP that CAD has about 3%, 2.8%. Today, it is almost double. The situation is precarious. We are told by the finance minister or the government, the things are rosy, everything is fine. But the reality, you cannot see on the surface. This is much more than that. If you see certain other parameters, let's take, for example, the IIP data, industrial data that has been coming. Last 5 years, it has been hovering on an average around 4%. It has gone down to 2%, and sometimes in certain quarters, it has been negative. So for the youth, most of the people for the working class, this is the biggest cause of concern. The employment generator of the economy, the industry has been very sluggish, or it has been actually going down. If you see, that brings me to unemployment data also. Recently, there was a report by NSSO. It has given a figure of about, in our economy, in our country, there are about 285 million people who are in the bracket of 15 to 29 years of age, which is the most productive age. And in that age, the unemployment ratio has gone up to almost 12%. That is the percentage of unemployment. Last 3 years, the period from 2010 to 12, 5 lakh people joined the army of unemployed youth. And NSSO predicts that by 2014, another 5 lakh will also join in. But that's only the surface data, where they're talking about the regular jobs or for people who are registered in employment exchanges. But most of you see the reality today. The situation is either there is no job, or those working are underemployed. By underemployed, I mean people who are not getting the jobs commensurate to their skills and their education. Recently, I was in Uttarakhand 3-4 days back, and there was a news item there. There was a recruitment drive going on for police SI. And the paper reported there are MBAs and BTech people applying for police inspector's job. That is the situation today in employment scene. What has happened in 1991, the situation is more or less same now. And at the time, there was a knee-jerk reaction. The decision was taken at the very last moment. We went to IMF till about time we were almost bankrupt. Today what is happening is, because there is an election looming, and as it was in 1991, there was an election then also. So the government was avoiding to take any harsh decisions. Today also it has happened, we have been given sops. If you have seen the budget, it is try to placate the middle class. And this is a short-term measure that they have taken. But situation per se is same as it was almost 24 years back. To share with you something, very few of you now might have known about the reforms, who started the reforms. The media tells you that Narasimha Rao government started it and Dr. Manmohan Singh has been the architect for that reform. But in reality, my friends, it was Dr. Subramanian SWAMY whose blueprint of reforms as Union Commerce Minister during 1991 set the framework for these real reforms. Am I right, Dr. SWAMY? Yeah. Everybody, the media tells you that it was done by Congress government and Narasimha Rao. So at that time, the economy was in complete mess. It was Dr. SWAMY who almost rescued with an invisible hand. And today he is visibly with us as our party colleague and a senior leader. I hope that when the new government forms, which I am sure you all would agree that we are going to come in power, I hope Dr. SWAMY will again show us the way. But before I invite Dr. SWAMY, I would invite my worthy colleague, Mr. Nalin Kohli, to speak on economy, as he has been a very keen observer on economic and politics and very active presenting our case. I would invite Mr. Nalin Kohli, please.
अच्छा चलिए आप कहें तो why not? Hello, yeah. Thank you, Anupam ji. Dr. SWAMY, of course, our esteemed senior, and will speak in much greater detail, but I thought, why don't I lay down a few facts before you and give you a broad picture. Dr. SWAMY, of course, can take off from there, add to it, and completely reverse it, since he has already described you as a one-man army. We do enjoy Dr. SWAMY's debates on television, and I think he's one of the few people who has the capacity to smile at some of the most aggressive of anchors and then counter back the anchor, which is an experience for the anchor in question. But I thought, you know, if we look back at a decade and what Anupam ji was just saying, it's almost a lost decade. Each one of us